Well, when I was approximately 9 or 10, or around the May time frame of 64, 65, I had an event where my brother came in about 6:15 in the morning and woke me up to relay to me that someone was trying to break into his bedroom. And I, at the time, thought he was just pulling my leg, but he was very scared and wanted to go check it out, wanted me to go with him to check this out. So we lived in the back end of the house where the bedrooms were. We started to walk down the hallway. When we got to the living room area, he pointed to the drapes where the living room wall, which was a wall of windows, but it was all draped, and said, "Look." And as I spun around to look at the drapes, I didn't see anything. So again, I was thinking that he was just teasing me and trying to make me think something was happening. And I asked him, "What did he see?" And he said he saw a shadow that was standing, of a person standing against the window. And when he told me to look, the shadow had actually just drifted back away from the window at a fairly rapid rate. Uh, at that time, I suggested, "Why don't we go out in the backyard and see if there's anything going on?" We thought it was probably a prowler at that time, was our thoughts. So we let the dog out the back door. We went into the garage, went out the back door of the garage, and as we got about 10 steps outside the back door of the garage, we heard a large humming noise, much like a high power voltage line. And as we looked up in the sky, just maybe 50 feet away, or probably within 25 feet of us and about 10 to 15 feet off the ground, there was a craft, a landing craft, hovering in the sky, about 6 feet long by about 4 feet wide and about 3 feet high. It's like a rounded box, bright orange, with blue corrugated, almost like a dryer hose out of the back of a dryer, landing gear, four of these things coming down with black suction cups on the bottom and brown crossbars on the landing gear. It looked very much like a landing craft, and my first recollection staring at it as it stood there in the sky was there was no visible means of propulsion on it other than this high hum like a power line, and it looked like something that was man-made. But this was 1964, 65, so I don't know that our government had the technology at that time to build this kind of craft. We froze for probably 60 seconds as we just stared with our jaws dropping. And then I said to my brother, "I'm going to go in the house and get the camera, and I'll be right back." So I ran to the garage, went into the garage, to the main door, to the house, and I started to knock on the door. And I noticed that there was like a blip in time where something like skipped a frame, but I didn't think much of it. And about 5 minutes later, my older brother came and opened the door and let me in. I went in, passed him. He said, "What's up?" I said, "Nothing." Went in, grabbed the camera, ran back out. At that time, I saw my brother standing on the swing set, on the top of the swing set. He climbed up the slide to the top and was staring off to the west. And I asked him what had happened. And he said, "Well, the craft sat there for a few seconds after you left, and then all of a sudden it started to slowly drift away and then went shooting off into the western sky. Very quickly, it was gone, completely gone." I think there's always the possibility that it's man-made. The only thing that would lead me to believe not is the technology that it was using to propel itself, which obviously was some kind of anti-gravity engine or something, because it didn't have any. It wasn't flapping any wings, and there was no visible moving parts on it. It was just a big hunk of metal hanging in the sky, making a humming noise. And the other thing is there were absolutely no markings on it. But I can remember staring at the body of the craft. It was completely smooth. There were no seams on it at all. Phenomenal construction in terms of like it had been blown like glass, and it was very very shiny, very metallic, shiny. So it was a real physical craft, and it just from the characteristics, would lead me to believe that it was not a government vehicle. Although at the time the thought did run through my mind, this looks like something man-made.
Did it seem to, was it actually like emitting a light or a phosphorescence? Or
No,
was it,
it was not. No, it was just itself. Yeah,
it's just like a hard metal, which
just
was
polished.
colorful?
It was very
metal?
polished. Yeah, no lights on it. No landing lights. No spinning. Nothing spinning. Again, it was just this high-powered hum. What was this vehicle I saw? Was it a government vehicle, test vehicle? If it was, how they managed to keep this secret for 30 years with no one knowing that they've got this technology? If it was an alien spacecraft, who are these people? Where are they from? And what do they want? Immediately, it gave me the feeling of, the immediate knowledge that what we see is not all there is. For someone who's grown up and the world is this way, and it's in this little box, and it all fits very neatly. It's paved street, and cars go down paved streets, and we have a store at the end of it, and the neighbors are this way, and all of a sudden to see this thing that doesn't fit in with the world as you know it to be throws you all out of whack. And it's caused me to do quite a bit of soul searching and quite a bit of reading and quite a bit of study and meditation in this whole area that I probably wouldn't have done if I hadn't been confronted with this phenomenon and trying to discover what really is behind it.